lived in Copenhagen for more than 6 years and I'm so sad to admit that I haven't explored many bookstores in this city. But I'm going to change that in today's video because I'm taking you with me on a little trip to explore all the bookstores in the city, check their English book sections and tell you which ones are actually worth your visit. When you live in a country for a long time, you eventually stop exploring the city as much as you did when you first moved in. You find your favorite bookstores, you find your favorite cafes, the places to hang out, but after my Edinburgh bookstore crawl, I realized I want to change that. Am I missing out on anything? Are some places overhyped? Can we find a hidden gem in Copenhagen? So in today's video, I'm giving myself a limit of purchasing max 2 books, probably 1. Let's see how it goes. Hi, I'm Adeline, and if you're new here, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Now, onto the video. First stop was this old bookstore whose name I cannot pronounce. It's bigger than I expected. You could really get lost in there for a long time. Sadly, the fiction part of the bookstore was closed, so I could roam only in the non-fiction area, which was divided into themes, but good luck finding English books. There was no sorting based on language. I still appreciate the atmosphere this bookstore has. Arnolds Busck is hands down my favorite bookstore in the city with its large fiction collection on the ground floor. You can always find here the most popular books, also in special editions, and some new releases too. This bookstore also organizes events with authors and some midnight release parties like the Onyx Storm one I went to this year. On the top floor they have also a lot of English non-fiction, however, it is not sorted into its own section. I also love their underground floor with stationery, art supplies and board games. Also, this Twilight 20th Anniversary Collector's Edition, speechless, I'm manifesting this. If you couldn't guess, this is my favorite bookstore in the whole city. Okay, hear me out. I know everyone says you should come here for the cozies, but that's the only thing you get here. Recently when I sat down here for a coffee, it was below average, and I'm saying this as a retired barista, and they have the audacity to charge a lot extra for oat milk in 2025. Hello? I'm not paying 850 euros for a bad coffee if I can get a delicious specialty coffee for much less elsewhere. Anyway, today I checked out their used book section, and I swear I have to cleanse my energy after this. It was giving spooky vibes, not in a good way. Lots of empty rooms with creepy art pieces made from mannequins, signs that say do not enter, and just overall weird energy. Not going back there again, thank you very much. I was creeped out. So instead of Paludan, go to this literature bar on the same street. Cozy place with cheaper coffee, delicious food and a lovely small bookstore in the back. They were selling mostly books about nature and society, some well-known and some by smaller indie authors.
It's a really pretty book. It's really pretty.
I think I saw it in Edinburgh. Their English selection was pretty interesting, and it felt so nice to get a book from here. All this book shopping got us hungry, so we had this omelette with spinach and goat cheese, and it was so delicious. I caught up on some reading here and it was so cozy. Highly recommend. This has become my favorite spot in Copenhagen. I just wish they had longer opening hours because they are closing at like 5:30. So if I want to go there with friends after work, it's already closed and yeah. But it's so lovely. The people were so nice, the space is so cozy, and the books that they are selling there are so unique, and some of them I never heard of, so that's also nice. It reminds me of the new bookstore that I found in Edinburgh called the Vangsgaards, and this one was so charming. So I picked up a book, as one does. And for me this one is very special because I used to be such a crystal girl collector lady, and I love my crystals so much, and I spent years collecting them. So to read something that is first of all about rocks and geology, which I never read about before, so that's exciting to me. But she is geologist turned outdoor psychotherapist, and she's helping people to connect with nature more. So this is something that I truly believe it's so powerful and a free tool to most of us. When I found this book, I was pretty excited and immediately bought it. It's called Weathering, and I never heard of it. It has so little reviews online as well. I love to find something that nobody had influence on me. And I should just read it for you so you have an understanding on what it's about, because it can explain better than myself. So here we go. Rocks and mountains have withstood aeons of life on our planet, gradually eroding, shifting, solidifying and weathering. We might spend a little less time on Earth, but humans are also weathering, evolving and changing as we are transformed by the shifting climates of our lives and experiences. So, what might these ancient natural forms have to teach us about resilience and change? In a stunning exploration of our own connection to these enduring forms, outdoor psychotherapist and geologist Ruth Allen takes us on a journey through deep time and ancient landscapes, showing how geology, which has formed the bedrock of her own adult life and approach to therapy, can offer us a new way of thinking about our own grief, change and boundaries. In a world shaken by physical, political and medical distress, Weathering argues for a deeper understanding of the ground beneath our feet to better serve ourselves and the world we live in. I feel like this is gonna be such a beautiful book to just meditate upon, read a few pages at a time and really let it sink in. So I'm just really excited to read this book. Let's continue in the video. The Booktrader is a used bookstore done right. Lovely selection, lovely environment, and you could really find some gems here. English books have their own section too, no notes. I used to come to Soul Books some years ago when I was deeply in my spiritual era, and I can still appreciate their collection of books on this topic, as well as psychology, self-help, and community. They also have tarot and oracle decks here, which are so pretty. While it is a small selection of books, you can find some good reads here. I discovered this bookstore quite recently and I immediately fell in love with the vibes of this bookstore. Half of the bookstore is for comics and the other half is for fantasy books, most of them in English, if not all. You can really find here books you've never heard about, which is great if you want to read books without being influenced by book talk. I could browse this bookstore for hours and find so many great reads.
It looks like Zelda somehow.
Notice how I check out Alchemy of Secrets 3 times in 3 different bookstores in this video. I'm so tempted, but also I'm unsure whether I'm gonna like reading about LA. Let me know if you read it.
Enemies to lovers. Always. They always write the trope on the cover.
And I also almost ordered Hecate online, and it would be hilarious if it came in and then I noticed it's 500 pages of poems. Anyway, I love this bookstore. The next tried and true bookstore of mine, as their English section downstairs is amazing. I have a feeling they keep expanding this area more and more, which makes me super happy. However, I have also noticed it's mostly romantasy and romance books, and I wish high fantasy books would have a nice separate section. In general, the organization of books isn't the best, it's quite chaotic. But to my surprise, they have a much bigger selection of English books upstairs, including a lot of contemporary fiction and Asian literature, which I love dearly. This is an amazing bookstore. It's the next day and I have my bestie with me today. We took a train a bit outside of Copenhagen to visit Books & Company Bookstore, which is a purely English bookstore with lovely vibes and a selection of books. I barely come here as it is a bit out of my way, and to be honest, the books are slightly more expensive than in the other small bookstores. Nonetheless, this bookstore is more than just a store. They have a book club and a lot of other events, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. you heard of this? It's the same as the magic.
Who's the author? Oh yeah, but I haven't heard of this one.
I'm interrupting this bookstore crawl by the loveliest of autumn meals, this pumpkin dal and BMO we got in Sunny for lunch, which I cannot stop thinking about. And because it's October, we had to go and see Tivoli in its Halloween glory. My favorite time of the year to visit this amusement park, so please enjoy it. Now back to the bookstores. The Pond is a cute, queer store where you can find a lot of small indie authors and books you haven't heard about, and it is such a nice, inclusive space. Another small bookstore, Arc Books, has a unique selection of English books that are divided into categories based on location, which is amazing if you want to broaden your reading palette. Superbooks is a bookstore that is truly a community space too. It offers a small selection of books that offer you social commentary and also could expand your beliefs and the ways you think. And last but not least, this bookstore chain that has multiple locations around the city. First of all, look at this coloring book section, love it. While this one is in a shopping mall and the atmosphere is not as cozy as the other bookstores, it offers a wide variety of books in English, mostly fiction. I appreciate their affordable classic paperbacks and their small notes with recommendations from the staff. They also have sales quite often, which is always nice, as well as their online shop. Oh my god guys, this was such a fun week. I got to spend some cozy days with my besties just browsing all the bookstores in Copenhagen and finding the best ones. I just had a time of my life. However, I struggled so much with finding a book that would speak to me. So I already have a pretty long physical TBR list, so I was looking for something that would really spark my joy, that would put itself so high on the TBR I would read it before this year is over. And that was a struggle on its own. But also I feel like the bookstores didn't have very interesting books. And if they had interesting books, they had the most ugly. I have such a beef with sprayed edges. I cannot stand sprayed edges and I'm not gonna buy sprayed edges ever. So basically, even if I was interested in a book, it was always in sprayed edges that were so ugly and they were so expensive, and I was like, this is not okay. So anyway, in the last bookstore, I finally found one book that caught my attention. This book, first of all, the cover, are you ready for it? It looks so interesting, doesn't it? I never heard of it. I barely heard of the author. When I read the first sentence saying cross-dimensional smuggler, I was like, okay. And then she is sent to a capital to smuggle something in, and I'm like, I don't know why this is giving me Catching Fire, weirdly. I don't know why I made that connection. So basically, it's a cross-dimensional smuggler and it's in snow. So I was like, all right, I'm hooked and I'm gonna read it during winter. And I was looking for something that is fresh, that nobody had any opinion on, because I don't want to be influenced. For once, when reading a book, I want to go into something blindly. So it's a dark adult romantasy. She's sent on a dangerous mission and she gets captured by this immortal enemy, this monster that is ruling over their lands for millennia, and that are carnivores, and they are, well, let's just say they are eating other creatures, including her kind. Her kind is human, if I understood it correctly. So that's something to look out for. But because it's a romantasy, guess what's gonna happen? Yeah, they're gonna fall in love eventually. Apparently there is a lot of banter, which I like, but let's see how it's done. But there is also apparently politics. As the revolution is brewing, something will be affecting her family as well, I believe. And again, traveling through dimensions. Hello, sign me up. Anyway, this is Void Walker. I'm excited to start this. But yeah, that would wrap my Copenhagen bookstore tour, and I cannot believe I visited almost all of them, if not all. I would say this is my top list of bookstores. I'm gonna give you my top 5. On place number 5 we have Books & Company, because it is further away from Copenhagen and the prices are a bit more steep than the other bookstores in the city center. Books are already expensive in Copenhagen, you cannot make them more expensive than that. On 4th place we have Booktrader. I don't know whether I pronounce it right, and I do not care. Okay, don't call me out for it. They also have a website where you can order a lot. The prices are good, but this one to me has the most bookstore chain vibes, if you know what I mean. So it's not very cozy, but you can get a lot of English books in there. On 3rd place, we have a small independent bookstore called Fantask. For me, this one was such a surprise because the English section of fantasy books specifically is big, and you can find such unique books that I never heard of before. So if you are a reader that likes to read very random books that you haven't heard about online, this is your store. The prices are something in between the big stores and Books and Company, so it's not too bad. Alright, so the first and second place, it's tough for me because I always go to Arnolds Busck, but my most recent trip is proving that Politikens has actually much bigger selection, I think. So I'm gonna do a crazy thing and say that on second place is Arnolds Busck and on first place is Politikens. They are both in a city center, they have both great opening times, and they have the cheapest books. Well, they're still expensive because it's Copenhagen, but the choices are great. Anyway, so that's my rating. If you ever visit Copenhagen, and if it's next year after July, you will get to shop much more cheaper because the taxes will be 0 on books. Isn't that great? I cannot wait to be going book shopping and actually like shop for books a lot. So yeah, that was the video for today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a comment if you ever visited Copenhagen and which bookstore is your favorite or which one you like the most from the video. And I'm gonna see you next week for another cozy bookish video. Love you. Bye.